Hey, what's going on, all of you wonderful and amazing people? I know that a lot of you guys are at work today. So I am hoping and praying that I do get a couple of you guys in here because I know it is the middle of the day and I know most people are, girl, y'all ain't nobody able to come in no live chat at no 9 o'clock in the morning. I understand. And for those of you that are not able to join me loud, live, and in color this morning, hopefully you can join me on the playback way back so you can hear everything that I need to talk about. Well, everything that we need to discuss as far as this Love and Hip Hop ATL shouted is concerned. What's up, Sammy? What's up, Chardonnay? What's up, Miss Anonymous? How are we living? What's up, Chantel? What's up, Sassy? For those of you watching on the playback way back, you know that I have to speak to my fam bam before we get into the topics of conversation. I do have another live show that I'm going to probably do following this one because apparently there's a lot of things that are going on with YouTube that people want me to discuss, and it is very serious for those people who actually depend on YouTube as their sole source of income. Thankfully, I'm not one of those people that depend on YouTube as my sole source of income, but there are people out there that depend on YouTube as their sole source of income. So they are really getting, girl, they freaking out, girl, and rightfully so for those people that depend on YouTube. But I'll make another live show talking about that. Thank you so much, Chantel. What's up, Sassy? I don't work this week. I'm not doing another. Girl, what's up? Well, thank you for joining me. But let's go ahead and get into the topic of conversation. I apologize for those of you that are used to me going live at night after Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But girl, I was so sleepy yesterday. I was working all day yesterday. So I was too tired to come and talk about this foolishness and it's fuckery, okay, on Yes City, okay? So for those of you, how many of you guys actually watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta on last night? I have, Sammy. Thank you so much for noticing. How many of you guys actually watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta on last night? Last night, y'all, look, I'm going to tell y'all right now, it seems like the farther we get up in the episodes, as each episode passes, it seems to get more and more redonkulous. Okay, it seems to get more and more redonkulous. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that, but it's getting more and more ridiculous by the freaking episode. It's ridiculous. Okay, it is ridiculous. I know you were Romero, and I'm sorry that I wasn't on here last night. I went to sleep, boo. I went to sleep, but I'm here now, and I'm gonna give you guys y'all life. So let's go ahead and get into the topics of conversation. Let's go ahead and get into what's up, Charmaine. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, y'all know I got my notes because if I don't, I will be here all day talking to y'all. Okay, because I just love talking to y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into the topics of conversation. Okay, so Stevie J, Kirk, Scrappy, and some other random ass dudes that I don't even. Girl, let me tell you something. A lot of them dudes that was there, I have no idea. Mona Scott even. Did y'all notice this? Mona Scott even sprinkled a white dude up in there. Okay, she sprinkled a white dude up in there, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this. But the white dude was looking all kinds of discombobulated and confused. He was looking like, really, what the hell are they talking about? I don't know what they're talking about right here. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Girl, where did Mona Scott get that man from and sat that man in the middle of this foolishness and this fuckery, okay? Because that man was looking all types of discombobulated. But anyway, let's move on to what was going on. Girl, they even had Mama D husband, Ernest up in the mix, girl. Anyway, they were sitting in there discussing their bullshit ass ways. Okay, they were sitting there talking about all the shit that they got going on. Kirk was talking about his situation with Rashida. Scrappy was talking about his situation with Bambi. Of course, Stevie J was telling everybody how he's single, girl, and how he got to take this paternity test, etc., etc. Okay. Now, Young Jock, of course, was there, and Young Jock decides to reveal to everyone that he actually had sex with Jasmine as well. And of course, Kirk was sitting over there like, damn. So of course, Scrappy was like, so you mean to tell me that it's a possibility that this baby could be yours too? So Jock proceeds to say, well, I use protection. Okay, I use protection. And then we find out from Kirk that Kirk claims that he also used protection. But the gag is that he gonna sit there and he's like, these people some scammers. Boy, okay, at the end of the day, even if you did use protection, you still cheated on your wife with some random chick from the script club. And I'm gonna talk about little not little Scrappy, but Young Jock ass in a little bit, girl, because he just girl, I'm so over him, okay, with his foolishness and his fuckery. But that's what's going on at this meeting. They're sitting there discussing their womanizing ass ways. And both Young Jock and Kirk find out that they both allegedly had sex with Jasmine, but they both used protection. So that's what's going on with that whole situation right there. Now, there is this other guy there, and his name is Tango. Okay, there's another guy there, and his name is Tango, and he's the ex-boyfriend of Kiana. Y'all know the sister wife. Okay, Kiana is the sister wife of Rod and Jasmine. I know this shit is all types of confusing for those of you who don't actually watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but there's a dude named Tango, okay, who is the ex-boyfriend of Kiana, who is Rod and Jasmine's third wheel. Okay, so he proceeds to pretty much tell everybody that, you know, what's going on with them and how they all in a relationship and all this type of shit. So everybody's sitting there just discussing Kirk and Rashida's situation, and they're discussing Rod and Jasmine and Kiana. It's just one hot shitty ass mess. Okay, thank you so much, Hurley Cutie. What's up, Shailene? Like the condom was supposed to excuse it. Exactly. I hate that shit. A lot of people excuse cheating with the fact that I use the rubber. Okay, I use the rubber. Who cares? Okay, there is a lot of diseases. I don't know if people have ever heard of herpes. Okay, have you ever heard of fucking herpes? You can actually catch herpes among several other STDs while still wearing a condom, because guess what? Your genitals are still touching. People fail to realize that, okay, just because you wear a condom, that don't excuse the fact that you were still cheating on your significant other. Foolishness and fuckery. But let's move on off of the whole guy meeting situation. And like I said, Mona Scott, I want to know who was that white dude that you just sat there and sat up in the mix, because that man was sitting there looking like, what the hell is really going on? Okay, what the hell did I accept this $100 payment to be an extra in? Because I was just like, really, Mona? Anyway, but let's move on. Okay, let me read some of the comments first. But Tango is from another reality show. I would not doubt it. I've never watched Love and Hip Hop New York. I watched Love and Hip Hop for the first time last night. I couldn't get 10 minutes in before I realized I was above the level of maturity. Such a shame. Now, let me tell you guys something. One person that I will say is very articulate on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is Melissa. I love Melissa's speech. I don't know if you guys actually listen to Melissa, but you can definitely tell that Melissa is a very intelligent person. She is one of the most articulate people on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I'm pretty sure she's just there for a check, girl. We all know 9 times out of 9 she's just there for a check, but she is very articulate. I don't know if a lot of you guys noticed that, but I definitely did. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic of conversation. Let's talk about Jocelyn meeting up with Lovely Mimi. Again, it seems like all of this shit is just, y'all, it's too much for me. Like I said, everybody seems to be BFFs when it comes to this. Everybody seems to be kumbaya and BFFs, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't be, you know, getting along on the show and they shouldn't hang out or whatever, because they are, at the end of the day, they are on the same show at the end of the day. But it just seems like everybody is all kumbaya and all BFFs and all this other shit, and I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. But anyway, Jocelyn meets up with Lovely Mimi. Apparently, Lovely Mimi does Jocelyn's nails. Lovely Mimi tells Jocelyn about the fact that she actually left the glam shop, and how, you know, her and Sierra got into this altercation, etc., etc. Basically, Lovely Mimi wants to ask Jocelyn to help her build her clientele, because apparently she's going to be opening her own nail shop. Now, Jocelyn, like, girl, look, okay, number one, I really don't even know you like that for real. But at the end of the day, I don't know a whole lot of people. I don't get along with a lot of these chicks in Atlanta, so I don't really even know who I would even, you know, try to tell about your shop. I can sit there, you can do my nails, I can post you on my Instagram or whatever, and you can try to build your clientele that way. But I really ain't got nobody that I really even fool around with like that to tell to, you know, patronize your shop, to be completely honest with you. So they talk about all of that. Okay, like I said, it's just whatever. Okay, it's annoying. It's basically annoying. Now, look, I don't know if you guys caught this, but Jocelyn tells Mimi that she actually had maybe I'm discombobulated, maybe I overheard something that I thought I heard something that I didn't hear. But didn't Jocelyn, or did she not tell Lovely Mimi that she had relations with Jessica Dime and Tommy? Did she not tell Lovely Mimi that she had relations with Jessica Dime and Tommy? What, am I confused about that? For those of you watching on the playback way back, and for those of you that are watching this live, did Jocelyn tell Lovely Mimi that she had sex with Jessica Dime and Tommy? Okay, because I could have swore that's what she said. And if she did say that, girl, what the fuck? Okay, really? Really? Just saying. She did say that. Okay, I thought my ears were deceiving me when I heard that. Okay, I thought my ears were deceiving me. So Jocelyn pretty much told Lovely Mimi that she had relations with Jessica Dime and she had relations with Tommy. Girl, I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. Okay, I'm over it. But anyway, she pretty much proceeds to tell Lovely Mimi, girl, since you want me to help you, build your clientele, you want me to send you some customers to your shop or whatever. I'm having I'm creating a music video. It's entitled Baby Daddy. I want you to be in my music video. It's pretty much about girls empowering each other. Basically, we're going to show these young girls that girls who have gotten into it before, girls who have had disagreements, they're able to come together and get over their disagreements and just, come together for a better cause, whatever the fuck her reasoning is for wanting everybody to come together for this music video. Because at the end of the day, Jocelyn, you still shady as fuck, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. You still shady as hell. You want these women to be a part of your music video, but you don't want them to be a part of your music video at the same time, if y'all kind of understand where I'm coming from. But she tells Lovely Mimi, I want you to be a part of this music video, but, since you want to build your clientele, you can also do the ladies' nails that are going to be in the video, and that way you can, that'll be another way to promote your shop. Okay, so anyway, I'm just a girl. Okay, her whole concept for this Baby Daddy music video. Okay, girl, it sounds like a good idea, but for you to want people to just up and just drop everything and just forget everything that you have, girl, you have literally caused all types of havoc. Okay, you didn't sit there and snatch people wigs off. You didn't drink and goddamn wine and shit in people's face, and you want people to just drop all of that and forget about all of that and be a part of your music video. It don't work like that, boo. But anyway, that is what she's propositioning Lovely Mimi for. Okay, she said it last season. I didn't even notice she said it last season that she had relations with Jessica Diamond and Tommy. But a hot mess. What's up, M-Town boy? But let's move on to the next topic of conversation. So that's what's going on with Lovely Mimi and Jocelyn. Like I said, I'm just getting over the whole situation with everybody just being, I don't know, everybody pretending to be BFFs. That shit is old as hell to me. Okay, now let's move on to another interesting topic. Young Jock and Carly Red. Okay, Young Jock and Carly Red are having a double date with Sierra, her husband, Shooter, whatever the hell his name is, Shooter, whatever his name is. Okay, so Young Jock and Carly Red are having this date with them. Now, Carly ass comes in, and of course, she has to bring up the situation that's going on with Jasmine and Kirk, and she has to tell them about how Young Jock is a possibility that Young Jock is Jasmine's baby daddy. I mean, because she just can't have a normal freaking conversation, okay? She can't have a normal conversation, so she has to bring up the foolishness and the fuckery that is Kirk, Rashida, Jasmine, and Young Jock. So, because, I mean, we can't just sit and have just a normal conversation, okay? A normal double date. And in the meantime, between time and all of that, Sierra proceeds to talk about, the situation with Lovely Mimi, how they had this altercation at the bar. And then it's kind of out of left field, because then she goes into talking about how Shooter, whatever the hell his name is, how he ain't putting it down in the bedroom. And I don't know who this person is. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. But Shooter, somebody called this in my last live show about Sierra. Mariah and Shooter. Somebody said that they felt like Mariah is gonna be found out that she was messing around with Sierra's husband. Fake news, okay? Fake fucking news. But we're gonna discuss that in a minute, okay? But anyway, she proceeds to talk about how he ain't shit in the bedroom and how she likes to get down. And I'm just like, girl, what the hell? Okay, like, damn, are we here having a double date? Or are we here to discuss our sex? I mean, it just went into left field. It was just too damn much. So of course, Shooter decides to get up. He was like, okay, I didn't come here for all this foolishness and fuckery and this bullshit. Okay, I pretty much came here to have this double date, to have me a little bit of lunch, maybe sit there and discuss a few topics, but I didn't come here to discuss the fact that you feel like I ain't putting it down in the bedroom. Okay, so he gets up and he's walking out, and she gets up being all dramatic, and you ain't going nowhere. Where you think you going? Girl, it was just, was anybody else over that scene? Was it just me, or was anybody else like, really? Really? It was just too much. Like I said, y'all supposed to be there having lunch, discussing whatever the hell y'all want to discuss, but the fact that y'all just went into complete left field, talking about, I mean, it wasn't even 10 minutes. They weren't sitting down for 10 minutes before all of this extra shit just started just freaking up the whole atmosphere. It was too much. Okay, what's up, K-May? It was just too much for my soul. The acting is terrible. You are 100% right, Lindley. The acting is horrid when it comes to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's too much. What is up with Young Jock's hair? Child, I don't know. Somebody said he was a member of the Five Heartbeats, something like that. It was funny, girl. I don't know what's up with Young Jock's hair. He's doing the most. Okay, but hey, it is what it is. What's up, Cameron? Cameron. But yeah, anyway, that's what's going on with that. Now, Jocelyn and Melissa. And this is, like I said, I don't know. Melissa just seems to be one of these people on the show that I find to be very articulate. I love the way Melissa talks. And I can tell that she's just on this show for the paycheck, girl, because what's her purpose? I just, to be honest, when the show first started coming on, I really honestly and truly thought that Melissa and Mimi were a couple. But upon further review, upon people checking me in the comments, like, girl, they are not a couple, okay? Because I thought in the beginning they were a couple. So what is, I don't know. Like I said, I guess Mona Scott needed to fill some of these extra spots or whatever. She had some, throw around money that she just wanted to pay a couple of people, a couple of $100 per episode or whatever, just for them to have a little bit of extra cash. I guess for them to get a little bit of exposure, because these people have no purpose on this show. Just saying. So Melissa is meeting up with Jocelyn. Jocelyn is discussing with Melissa, her idea about her music video Baby Daddy, and she's also pretty much trying to convince Melissa to have a conversation with Carly Red, Tammy, Jessica Dime, and a couple of other people. Who the hell is this other chick that she wants her to have a conversation with? Those are the only people I can think about right now. Carly Red, Tammy, and Jessica. She pretty much wants Melissa to talk to them to see if she can convince them to, set aside their differences so they can be a part of this Baby Daddy music video. Okay. So Melissa's like, girl, you really want me? You expect me to just go to these people and tell them that just because you're pregnant, you are a completely different person now. You just expect these people to just put all your differences aside and be a part of your music video. Okay. So she was like, girl, I done changed. Okay. I'm not that same person. I'm a different person now. I'm doing this music video for a reason. I want young girls to see that, girls can sit aside their differences and they can come together and they can actually be friends after all of the foolishness and the fuckery that has transpired. Okay. So that's what's going on with that situation right there. So Melissa tells her, look, I'll try. I'll do my best. I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I'm able to talk to them, see if they can, set aside their differences to be a part of your music video. But I ain't making no promises. I did not see Khaleesi after the show. Jocelyn trying to change. Yeah, she's trying to change. But then again, I can't even say I think that Jocelyn I haven't seen Jocelyn post any foolishness and fuckery on social media lately, which is a good thing. But at the same time, we can't sit there and forget the fact that while Jocelyn was pregnant, Jocelyn put all of this stuff on social media in regards to Stevie J being a pedophile and molesting his daughter. We can't forget that, okay? I personally can't forget that. I mean, that ain't just something that a grown person does, a mature grown person just randomly do in spite, okay? Even if you have a, issue with Stevie J was denying the fact that he was the father of your child. You don't put no baby into no shit like that, posting all of this stuff on social media. That was way, way out of line, okay? Way out of line. So I definitely cannot excuse all of that foolishness, okay? I personally cannot. But anyway, let's move on. Now, Treasure meets up with Mimi and Mariah at a bar, okay? Treasure meets up with Mimi and Mariah at a bar. Mimi pretty much tells Mariah that she doesn't understand why Treasure decided to go off in left field when it came to Tommy, okay? Because if you guys remember in the last episode, Treasure pretty much called Tommy the bottom of the barrel, okay? Girl, you the bottom of the barrel, you real low. And she tried to justify the fact that she called Tommy low. She was saying you're low key. Girl, we all know that you weren't classifying Tommy as being low key. You were classifying her as being low class, okay? Girl, you low class, you the bottom of the barrel. We all know that's what you meant. But of course, because it went into left field, you had to try to justify what you were saying by saying that ain't what I meant. I meant that you low key, girl. You keep things on the down low. We know that ain't what you meant. But if that's what you want to, if that's how you want to play it, I guess that's how you want to play it. Now, but anyway, that's how all of that shit is going on right there. Now, Mimi also tells Mariah, girl, I don't see why you want to stick it out with Sierra. Sierra ain't really paying you no money. I don't really understand your motive for wanting to, you know, basically stick around with Sierra. So Mariah pretty much tells Mimi, look, girl, no, Sierra ain't paying me a whole lot of money at the shop. You know, she's not paying me what I'm worth. But at the same time, I do have other business opportunities that I am working on. But at the same time, my coin ain't where I want it to be right now. So because my coin ain't where I want it to be, I'm going to stick it out with Sierra a little bit longer until I can get my money up in other ways. Okay, and we're going to find out later how she getting her money up because Sierra ain't paying her what she is worth. Foolishness and fuckery, okay, if I do say so myself. So Treasure and Mimi get into it, okay? They low-key get into it because of the things that Treasure said about Tommy. Now, apparently Mimi feels some type of way because, you know, she herself is a convicted felon, and we know that Tommy is a convicted felon, and Mimi feels like that Treasure feels like she's better than everyone because she has two college degrees, okay? So her and Treasure low-key get into an altercation. I mean, just not a physical altercation, but they go back and forth verbally about the fact that, you know, Treasure feels like she's better than everyone, okay? Now, girl, I don't know if anybody picked up on this either, but Treasure wants to meet up with Tommy, okay? Treasure wants to meet up with Tommy, but of course, Mimi is like, girl, once you cross Tommy, I don't really know if Tommy gonna want to meet up with you. Girl, how you know? You met Tommy, what, 2 weeks ago? You met Tommy 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden you know what type of person Tommy is, and you know who she will and who she won't meet up with to accept an apology. Like I said, that's why these 2-week-old friendships, people feel like they know people way too good. People feel like they know people too well after 2 weeks. And that's where all of these arguments and all of this confusion comes from, because people get too comfortable with folks after knowing them for 2 weeks. Okay. But anyway, let me move on to something else. Okay. I keep getting a phone call, but anyway, Treasure is apparently an intern at Young Jock's morning show. Apparently Young Jock has a morning show. I do not know what type of morning show that Young Jock has. I don't know, but apparently Treasure is an intern at Young Jock's morning show. Now, we all know that Young Jock is fooling around with Carly Red, and we all know that apparently Young Jock is still fooling around with Cena. And Treasure is apparently friends with Cena, but she wants to go back and tell Cena about Young Jock fooling around. It's just it's a shitty ass mess. We all know that Love and Hip Hop is on TV. We know Love and Hip Hop is on VH1. So do you honestly truly think that Cena don't know that Young Jock is fooling around with Carly Red? Girl, fake news. Okay, fake news again. I'm sorry. My mama keep calling me, so I'm going to have to answer this phone, y'all. She keep calling me, so I'm going to have to answer this phone call, because y'all know when mama call, you never know if it's an emergency or whatever. I don't want it to be no emergency, and I don't answer. Just saying. So let me handle this right quick and fast. Hello? Oh, I'm making a video. Huh? Oh, okay. Well, huh? Well, I can't do that right this second, mama. Yeah. All right. My mama talking about she want a phone number for Church's Chicken, girl. Girl, y'all know I am not politically correct. Okay, y'all know I am not politically correct. Y'all know I'm not one of these channels that has to filter out everything. But girl, my mom want me to give her a phone number to some Church's Chicken, girl. Church's Chicken, girl. Talking about she want to see if they got some chicken, girl. I mean, not chicken, talking about some fish. Girl, talking about she want to see if they got some fish, girl. Some fish. Anyway, y'all know how your mama is, okay? So she want to see if they got some type of special fish. Anyway, let's move on back into the topics of conversation. Girl, anyway. But like I said, Treasure is an intern at Young Jock's morning show, but she wants to go back and tell Cena, who is Young Jock's baby mama, that he's fooling around with Carly Red. But at the end of the day, can somebody explain to me, does Cena not have cable television? Okay, does she not have social media? can she not see for herself that Young Jock is fooling around with Carly Rae for herself? So why in the fuck do you feel the need to run back and tell her that Young Jock is fooling around with Carly Rae? I'm pretty sure she already know this shit. Anywho, but they proceed to tell her, girl, if you want to, you can go back and tell her if you want to jeopardize your internship and on Young Jock's morning show, you can go back and tell her. But I'm pretty sure, girl, she already fucking know that he fooling around with Carly Rae, okay? She already know. Just saying. Yes, church of chicken girl. So that's what's going on with their whole situation right there. Okay, let's move on to the next topic of conversation. Now, Kirk goes to press. I don't know if anybody else notices this. Kirk gets on my fucking nerves. He has a very, very, very nonchalant attitude when it comes to his actions. Okay, he has a very, very nonchalant attitude when it comes to his actions. Okay, he just feels like I don't know. He's just a fucking goof troop when it comes to the foolishness and the fuckery that he done put Rashida through. Okay, he's just like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. Okay, I did the shit, get over it. That's the type of attitude that I get from Kirk. So he goes to press, and of course Charlene is there at press because we all know that Charlene works for Rashida at press. Okay, at least she works for Rashida at press while Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is filming. Okay, just fucking saying, not trying to be funny. So and let me say, by the way, that purple hair that Charlene was rocking, that shit was popping. Okay, I don't know who did her hair, but that shit was beautiful. Okay, that shit was beautiful. Now, Charlene, of course, is like, I want to know what's going on. Okay, I want to know what's going on with you and Rashida. What is all this shit I'm hearing about you cheating on her and you possibly got a baby on the side? And he like, look, I really didn't come here to talk to you. I came here to talk to Rashida. Now, we all know you don't say that to a girl, a woman mama, especially when you have been accused of cheating on her. You already know, you, like Rashida said, you got to face the wrath, okay, of that. You got to face the wrath of mama, okay? That's what you got to do when you done fucked up in this capacity, okay? When you done fucked up in this capacity, not only did you cheat on me, but it's a possibility that you have a baby, okay? You done went and had a baby on me, so you got to face the wrath of mama too. So she like, motherfucker, you just pretty much got to shut the fuck up and you got to listen to what mama got to say. Just saying, okay? So Charlene pretty much tells him, I feel like you need to go file for a divorce. I feel like you need to go on and file for a divorce because I don't know what you was thinking by pulling your little rusty ding ding out, going sticking it in somebody and having a baby on my daughter. So Charlene pretty much tells him how she feel and she proceeds to walk off. Okay, that's what she does, okay? Now, he basically tells Rashida the reason why he did what he did was because basically he's not getting any attention from Rashida. Now, Rashida tells him, look, man, I'm working, okay? If I was her, I would have told him, motherfucker, if you go out there and, and hustle a little bit more, maybe I wouldn't have to work so damn much, okay? Maybe I wouldn't have to work so damn much if you went out there and did a little bit of hustling too, okay? So he tells her, sometimes you get out of work, you tired, you lay in the bed, you turn your back to me. I try to rub your back, try to talk to you. You really don't want to talk because you're too tired. So he's justifying cheating on her because basically she didn't give him enough attention. I mean, girl, I wanted to throw something through that goddamn TV and knock that damn ugly ass smirk off his face because he just annoyed the hell out of me when he was talking about, you don't give me enough attention. You are a grown, rusty ass man. We have children that we have to support. We have a lifestyle that we have to upkeep. So naturally, I have to fucking work. I got a damn business that I have to tend to. Okay, I got a business that I have to tend to, and because I work too much, that's the reason why you went and stepped out on me. Boy, bye. Okay, boy, bye. It was too much for my soul. Okay, it was too much for my soul. So this fool proceeds to tell Rashida, these people, they scammers. And don't sit there and use that scammer thing on me. Okay, even if you feel like Jasmine and Rod are scammers, it still doesn't excuse the fact that you laid down and you had sex with her. Okay, it doesn't excuse the fact that you laid down and you had sex with her. It doesn't excuse it in no shape, form, nor fashion. So he pretty much tells her, I feel like we should, go see a marriage counselor. I feel like that's what we should do, go and see a marriage counselor. Now, I'm not opposed to seeing a marriage counselor because apparently, they do work. I'm not a married woman and I've never had to go to a marriage counselor, but I have heard that going to marriage counselors, they are beneficial. Okay, they don't always fix your issues, but I heard they are beneficial, okay? So he wants to go see a marriage counselor, but Rashida's like, I pretty much want to go through with the separation, okay? I need more time. I'm not to the point where I'm just ready to get over this and go to the marriage counselor and have you move back into the house. That's not where I am right now, even though that's where he feels like it should be. He feels like it should be to the point where they should just go to a marriage counselor and just forget all this shit is going on. No, boo. It ain't happening like that, okay? No, we need to stay separated. We need to figure out what's going on. You need to get this DNA test. I need to figure out if you didn't went and had a baby on me. It's a lot of factors that need to go into us going to a marriage counselor and possibly working this thing out. We ain't just finna forget the fact that you done cheated on me in no shape, form, nor fashion. So she pretty much tells him that she needs some more time. And Negro, it's been 2 weeks. Okay, ain't finna be no getting back to no together. Okay, ain't finna be no getting back to no together and just going to no marriage counselor and forgetting the fact that you cheated on me and possibly had a baby. No. So Melissa invites Cardi Red and Tammy over to her house, okay, because she wants to tell them about Jocelyn wanting them to be a part of her baby daddy music video. So she tells them about how, Jocelyn says that she is a changed woman and how she, wants to put their differences aside and how she apologizes for, the things that happened in the past with all of the fights and stuff like that. Because we know that Jocelyn pretty much snatched Tammy wig off at the reunion. We know that her and Cardi Red, she's been threatened to expose Cardi Red. She didn't, beat her with some flowers. Girl, she done did the absolute most. So Tammy, and I appreciate what Tammy said. Tammy said that she appreciates the fact that Jocelyn is basically apologizing. She appreciates the fact that, now that her being pregnant, she's changing a little bit. She appreciates that. But at the same time, she will have to politely decline being a part of her music video. Because at the end of the day, we all know that Jocelyn has an agenda. Jocelyn wants these people to be a part of her music video. But we all know at the end of the day, Jocelyn is not trying to be these people's friend. And we know that probably after this music video, Jocelyn is going to be back being shady as hell, not wanting to have anything to do with these folks. She's pretty much wanting to use them for her music video. No, boo, it don't work like that, okay? You can't just sit there and use me for what you want to use me for, knowing that you really ain't trying to fool with me like that. You just want to use me for your music video, you know what I'm saying? And then again, you have to take Jocelyn's apology with a grain of salt. You really have to take her apology with a grain of salt because she has apologized to people before, and we know that she has betrayed them. Because just like with the Mimi situation, we know that Jocelyn and Mimi have made up in the past. And what happened? Jocelyn went all on social media, saying that this girl's daughter was being molested by her father. It's just too much. We know that we have to take Jocelyn's apologies with a grain of salt. Cole Green said, I wish Jocelyn would cover her stomach already. I noticed that shit too. That shit is kind of annoying. It seems like everywhere that Jocelyn goes, she has to wear a shirt or a dress or something where her stomach is exposed. Girl, your stomach is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Pregnancy is a beautiful thing. But girl, you ain't got to always have your damn stomach out. Everybody know that you ain't faking, okay? I guess because people were assuming that Jocelyn was faking the whole pregnancy situation, she felt like she just had everywhere she goes, she got to just go showing her stomach, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's me, but it seems like that's the reason why she is showing her damn stomach every damn where she goes, okay? Now, Cardi Red also declines her invitation to be a part of this music video. So, yeah. No Tammy and no Cardi Red is going to be a part of Jocelyn's baby daddy music video. Now, Rod, Jasmine, and the sister wife Kiana, okay? So they're all apparently looking for a house together because we know that before Rod went to jail, Rod, Kiana, and Jasmine were living together. They were all kumbaya. They were all sleeping together, et cetera, et cetera. But once Rod went to jail, Kiana and Jasmine stopped fooling around with each other, and they pretty much went their separate ways. But now that Rod is out of jail, he wants them to, be a one big happy family again. And plus with Kirk pretty much, withdrawing all of his money and not giving Jasmine any more coin, I guess they feel like it's going to be better for us to just pretty much live together and pay these bills as one. Okay, so they're looking for a house together. Kiana comes in and tells them about the poker game and pretty much how Kirk and Young Jock and all of them were basically sitting around the poker table discussing their sister-wife relationship, their polygamy relationship, or whatever the hell they got going on, okay? And of course, She also proceeds to tell Rod how everybody feels like he's the puppet master. He's pretty much coercing Jasmine and Kiana to do and act a certain way, and they feel like he is the reason why Jasmine is pinning this baby on Kirk, that he feels like it has something to do with the money situation. Okay, so she pretty much tells him how that's going on, and she also proceeds to tell them how Carly Red is going around showing off her baby's picture to everybody. Now, Jasmine, this is where I'm going to have to pump your brakes right fast, okay? Jasmine, you saw Carly Red, okay? You saw Carly Red take a picture, several pictures of your baby. You saw her do that, and you did not stop her. You said yourself that if Carly Red is going to take your baby's pictures and she's going to go around and show it to everybody and everybody's going to see how much your baby looks like Kirk, you said you were okay with that. But now all of a sudden you feel some type of way because Carly Red is showing your baby's picture to everybody. Bitch, you should have stopped her when she was taking the damn picture. You should have stopped her when she was taking your baby's pictures, but you didn't. You thought that she was just going to, I guess you thought she was just going to have this picture in her phone and she was only going to show the picture to Rashida because that's what you wanted her to do. You wanted her to only show the picture to Rashida. But girl, you got to remember the type of person that Carly Red is. Bitch, you watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay, you have watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta before. This ain't your first rodeo. Okay, you have seen the damn show, so you know how messy Carly Red is. So what did you think she was gonna do with your baby's pictures? Okay, anyway, how shitty ass mess. Now she also tells them how young Jock, okay, because remember Tango is Kiana's ex-boyfriend, so this is how Kiana got all of this information. She also proceeds to tell them how young Jock is telling everybody that he also had sex with Jasmine, and but he used protection. But we all know at the end of the day, that ain't 100%. And even if you have sex with somebody, it's a possibility that the baby could be yours, even if you use protection. Okay, just saying. So now Jasmine proceeds to tell Rod that it ain't true because Rod's feeling some type of way. He was like, look, I know you ain't have sex with my boy. Okay, I know you didn't have sex with my boy. So she's telling Rod, look, that's not true. Young Jock is out here lying on his ding ding. It ain't true. Now Rod says it better not be true because at this particular point in time, he want to fight Young Jock. Okay, he want to put them paws on him in my little scrappy voice. Boy. Okay, exactly. She was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta last season. Jasmine was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta last season, so she already knows the dealio when it comes to Young Jock. She already knows the dealio when it comes to Carly Red. So you know the type of messy shit that they into. Okay, you was on the last season in the script club because you know that Kirk was trying to get her to be the baby nanny. Girl, anyway, like I said, it's fake news. Fake fucking news. Okay, now let's get into some show enough juicy shit. Let's get into some show enough juicy shit. I don't know who you are. You might watch this on the playback way back. I'm not 1,000% sure, but somebody in the last live stream called this. They said that they feel like Mariah, because remember in the episode before last, remember Mariah was pretty much saying that she herself was having sex with a married man and the married man was taking care of her. And I don't remember who it was that was in the last live stream, but they called it as well. They said, I bet Mariah is gonna come out that Mariah is fucking around with Sierra's husband, Gert. Okay, somebody called that shit. So Mariah meets up with Shooter, however you pronounce his name. She's meeting up with this dude out. It looked like in just a parking lot. Okay, so if y'all don't know, that's Sierra's husband. Now, apparently, she's telling us that Shooter is basically supplementing her income on the low. Because remember, she already said that Sierra ain't paying her what she's worth. So pretty much she's saying that Sierra's husband is basically giving her, supplementing that, lack of income that Sierra is giving her. Now, she proceeds to tell him to check his bitch. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, she was just going all types of off, okay? Just off the deep end. He was like, damn, why she got to be a bitch? Thank you so much, Sierra. Speaking of Sierra, she was basically telling him he need to check his bitch, and he was like, girl, you really ain't got to call her no bitch, etc., etc. Now look, this girl said basically, if I got to put up with your wife's shit, you're going to need to pay me some more money. Okay. I'm going to need you to pay me some more money if I'm going to have to put up with your wife's shit. Because remember, you basically paying me to keep this a secret. Okay. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't fool around with nobody, husband or wife, because motherfuckers will blackmail your ass. Okay. Motherfuckers will blackmail your ass. But look, y'all, we all know that this is fake news. Okay. We all know this is fake news in the words of Donald Trump. We all know that this is fake news. Okay. But anyway, let me move on. Okay. Look, he said, look, you know, if you want me to give you more money, you know, you got to do that thing. Just all types of just shady, shiesty ass shit. He tells you, you know, you got to do that thing that I like. If you want me to give you some more money, you got to do that thing that I like. I guess you got to hit that split, you know, on the what you call it. You know, I can't, you know, it's only certain stuff you can say now, but you got to hit the split on the what you call it. Okay. If you want me to give you some more money, basically. I can't take these hoes serious. Mona is just going too far off the deep end for me. Because if you expect us to believe this shit, so you expect me to believe that Mariah is fooling around with her boss's husband and they're doing this on TV like it's all good, okay? So you expect me to believe that this girl is fooling around with her boss's husband and they doing this shit just openly on TV like ain't nobody supposed to find out. And she just supposed to keep this a secret, even though it's being recorded for a reality television show. Somebody explain that shit to me. How in the hell do you expect for your wife not to find out about your side chick if you recording it for a reality television show? What? Like, it's too much. It's too much. She's beautiful. Jason Mona is working on a shoestring budget. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. It's just, girl, these storylines are horrible. But let me continue, okay? Now, she said, I want to pretty much tell Sierra that her husband got her out here looking like a fool. I want to tell her that, but I'm pretty much, you know, he's basically paying me to keep quiet. So apparently he's giving Sierra money. I'm sorry, he's giving Mariah money to basically not tell Sierra, okay? So he gives her this water fake money, and we all know that this is some of that damn, you know, monopoly money that you can get off Amazon or whatever. You know, they do have this prop money that a lot of these rappers and stuff be posted up in they, you know, Instagram pictures and shit. This ain't nothing but some prop money that Mona Scott then gave to him and said, you know, hand this to her, and you know, she gonna pretend like you gave her water money or whatever. So he hands her water money, and she's like, this ain't enough. This ain't enough. He was like, look, I ain't got no more tonight. Okay, I ain't got no more money tonight. So is my secret safe with you? She was like, yeah, your secret safe with me. So he just gives her this water fake ass money, and she agrees to, you know, keep it on the down low that he and her are having relations. Fake news, okay? Fake ass news. I think they all know, like they had to tell the producers, girl, it ain't real. Shaytastic. I ain't know they had to tell the producers, it's not real. She's not fooling around with this damn man. It's all for television. It's all fake. Like I said, it is entertaining, but at the same time, it's getting draining. Okay, it's very, very draining when you have a television show that there is absolutely no, when I tell you there is absolutely no realism. I mean, it's completely fabricated. It's fake. It's false. It's phony. It's ridiculous. I can't get jiggy with the shit. I can't. We all know the shit fake. It's fake. It's clearly fake. Okay, it's clearly fake as hell. But anyway, this fool talking about when the devil knocking at my door, I answer. Boy, no, you the damn devil. Okay, don't sit there and blame the devil for you fucking around on your wife. I hate when people do that shit. Don't blame the devil. It's you. Okay, you not being able to keep your peen in your pants. Just call a spade a spade. Okay, call a spade a damn spade. Just saying. Now, okay. Now let's move on to Carly and Young Jock. Carly and Young Jock meet up with Jasmine and Rod at a restaurant. Okay. Carly and Young Jock meets up with Rod and Jasmine at a restaurant. Now, Young Jock, you know, pretty much puts his hand out to shake Rod's hand, And Rod basically refuses to shake his hand. So Young Jock already knows some shit up, okay? If you put your hand out, you extend a gesture, you trying to be cordial or whatever, we shaking each other's hand or whatever, and you don't shake my hand, I already know it's gonna be some problems here. So Rod refuses to shake his hand. Now, Jock wants to talk calmly or whatever, that he don't want it to be any types of altercations, but I mean, basically, motherfucker, you've been around here in these streets. You've been lying on me. You know it ain't going to be no cool, calm, and collected conversation, okay? So Jasmine proceeds to ask Young Jock, have you ever told anybody that you had sex with me? Did you tell people, are you going around telling people that you smashed, okay, that, my baby could possibly be your baby, okay? Basically, are you telling people that? Now, look, this is where I am so over Young Jock, okay? And I want to punch him in his fucking throat. Let me tell you why I want to punch Young Jock in his fucking throat. Because Young Jock gonna proceed to say that he was drunk one night, okay? He was drunk one night and he actually met a girl and her name was Jasmine. He met a girl, her name was Jasmine, and she looked like her. So, motherfucker, you gonna sit there now, you going around telling people that you had sex with Jasmine, but now that you in her face and you're in her dude's face, you gonna sit there and say, well, look, I was drunk. I can't 100% say that it was her, but the girl that I slept with, her name was Jasmine, and she did look like her. What? Exactly. Like Rod said, it sounds like to me like you backpedaling, okay? Like you feel like you're going to get your ass stomped out, so you want to backpedal. Motherfucker, what? What you mean you was drunk and you had sex with a girl named Jasmine? She looked like me. Boy, stop, okay? Boy, stop. Oh, girl. Rod just mad he didn't get his cut. He can't nobody mess with his hoes for free, okay? Now, motherfucker, you mean to tell me you smashed my girl and you ain't give me no money? For real? You mean to tell me you smashed my hoe and you ain't give me no money for it? Boy, stop. So I was over Young Jock for that whole situation right there. Now, because Rod feels some type of way, he was like, you know what? Okay, man, I respect you for telling me. I respect you for clearing the air. And let me tell you why I respect you for clearing the air. Because, man, let me tell you something. Me and your baby mama, Cena, we real close. We real close, okay? Me and your baby mama, Cena, we real close. Just ask her about me. And, of course, that kind of rubs Young Jock the wrong way. He was like, okay, man, I see what you're trying to do. Now you're just trying to get up under my skin. You ain't had to bring my baby mama into the situation. I understand that, these are your sister wives or whatever, but you ain't had to bring my baby mama into the situation. So, boy, okay, you can't be fucking around with nobody girl and mad because somebody fucking around with your girl. I mean, that ain't how it works, Young Jock. But anyway, he feels some type of way about that. But anyway, they doing the most, going back and forth, even though we know this is all fake news. I don't feel like Rod is fucking around with Cena. We all know that this is some scripted ass bullshit. I don't feel like Cena is fucking around with Rod. Because like I said, at the end of the day, if all of this stuff is going on, everybody in Atlanta is fucking everybody, okay? I'm just saying. Now, Jasmine tells Carly Red to erase her picture and how she doesn't appreciate her going around showing off her baby's picture like it's all some hee hee ha ha. Carly Red's like, girl, because it is a hee hee ha ha, which low key it is a hee hee ha ha, Jasmine. The fact that you fucking around with somebody's husband, you got a baby, you got a boyfriend, and you got a girlfriend. It's just all one big, just foolishness and fuckery. It's all some bullshit, to be completely honest with you, Jasmine. So it is a hee hee ha ha. She tells Carly Red to delete her baby's picture. Carly Red was like, make me. Then Jasmine said, girl, I don't know if y'all peeped this out, but Jasmine was like, huh. She was like, I'll pop you in your mouth. I'll pop you in your mouth. Girl, look, I know Mona told you to do that. Mona was like, you need to, do one of them Tommy moves where she, like she gonna do something. She was like, girl, I'll pop you in your mouth. Pop you in your damn mouth. But anyway, she's like, pop me in my mouth, girl. Pop me in my mouth. Did y'all notice how Rod was laughing? Did y'all notice how Rod was laughing? Rod was laughing. Rod was laughing. I noticed that. I don't know if anybody else noticed that shit, but Rod was laughing when Jasmine jumped up and said that she was going to pop Carly Red in the mouth. He was laughing because he knew the shit was funny, because he knew that she wasn't going to do shit. And he knew that it was funny because her acting was just, it was all off kilter. Okay. It was all off kilter. It was off kilter. Jasmine's stupid. She allowed the girl to take the photos. What the fuck else she thought Carly was gonna do, girl? But exactly. She saw her take the pictures, and all of a sudden, you feeling some type of way. Shay Taxi said, LOL, like he like, I can't keep, exactly. I can't, ain't no way in the hell I can sit there and have, you know, no straight face with this fake ass shit, girl, because I already know it's some bullshit. I already know it's some bullshit. So let me sit there and try to mask this laugh. Let me try to mask this laugh right fast. Right quick, fast, in a hurry. I'm trying to get this phone number for my mama, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second, girl, because, girl, she gonna come calling me back in a minute talking about some church of chicken, girl. She gonna call me back in a minute talking about some church of chicken. Then we're gonna continue to discuss the foolishness and the fuckery that is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I just want to know where Mona getting all these random people from. I want to know too. Where the hell are all of these random ass people coming from? Where did Jasmine and Kiana and Mimi and all of these other people, where the hell did they come from? That's what I want to know. Give me a second, y'all. I'm writing down this number for my mama. Because she's serious about that damn fish at Church Chicken. And I'm trying, y'all, that's why she don't want a smartphone. So, of course, she can't look up these numbers herself. So, anytime my mama need or wants a phone number, she call me. Anytime she needs to want a phone number, she call me, girl. Can you look up this phone number? I be like, Mama, you need to get a smartphone. Because, you know, ain't nobody using no damn phone books no more, girl. Ain't nobody using no phone books no more. So, she calls me anytime she is in need of a phone number. But anyway, let's continue to move on to the next topic of conversation. Like I said, her and Carly Rae get into an altercation. Of course, these bodyguards break up, and that's it, and that's all. Okay, so that's what's going on. But like I said, at the end of the day, Rod is laughing because the shit is fun. Okay, the shit is damn fun. Now let's move on to something else. Treasure meets up with Tommy. Okay, Treasure meets up with Tommy. Now, I knew when this shit happened, I knew that it was going to be some foolishness. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I knew that it was going to be some foolishness when Treasure met up with Tommy. But pretty much we all know that Treasure said that she wanted to meet up with Tommy because she pretty much wanted to apologize and tell her that she took her comments out of context when she was saying that she was low. She didn't mean that she's low. She pretty much meant that she was low key, okay, or low, whatever. Okay, that's what she meant, even though we know that's not really what she meant. But she wants to meet up with Tommy because she wants to apologize and she wants to, I guess, settle their differences. Okay, so that's why they meet up. Now, of course, they start an argument because Tommy already, girl, she came in the door ready for a fight. Now, they get into an argument, and Tommy gets up out of her seat and says, she's like, you know what, girl, I want some fruit, girl. I want some fruit because it was a fruit basket sitting next to Treasure. Now, I don't know if y'all peeped this, okay? But did y'all see that lady that was down there pretending to do Treasure's toenails? Did y'all peep that shit? Did y'all peep that chick that was down there pretending to do Treasure's toenails? And when Tommy got up out of her seat, did you see how fast that lady got up off that damn stool? Girl, that lady was like, oh, hell no. I know it's finna be some foolishness. Let me go and get up and let me exit stage left because I already know it's about to be a fight. We not finna do that. Yes, that nail tech took a mad dash. She was like, hell no, this crazy bitch. She got up out her seat. It's time for me to move. Okay, it's time for me to move out of the way because I know it's finna be a fight. So she gets up and Tommy's eating grapes and shit. Now, as she's eating the grapes, she proceeds to throw some of the grapes in Treasure's face. Treasure was like, stop throwing stuff at me. Stop throwing stuff at me. But girl, we all know that Tommy don't give a fuck. Bitch, stop throwing stuff at you. I'm not going to stop throwing nothing at you, girl. I'm going to keep throwing it at you. So she proceeds to pick up the whole damn basket and threw it at Treasure. And of course, they get into a fight. Now, girl, she literally almost pulled that girl's wig completely the fuck out. I mean, I don't know if it was a wig or some tracks or whatever, but apparently that shit was in there real good because Tommy was literally pulling that girl hair. That wasn't no fake fight. Tommy is on some for real, just ghetto ass shit, okay? And she's not acting. She is for real. So Tommy's pulling the girl's hair and, you know, calling her all types of bitches and hoes and you fucking with married men, you a slut bucket, you a gutter bucket, all this other type of stuff. And of course, the security guards break it up. And she said, I wanted to give you a warm welcome to the A. Okay, welcome to the A, ho. And we all know that Tommy feels like she has to beat people up, okay? Tommy feels like she has to beat people up in order to welcome them to the city of Atlanta, okay? She feels like she got to beat people up in order to welcome them to the city. So that's what went on with that situation. Now, Jocelyn is meeting up with Jessica Dime, but of course the show went off as this was going on. And this just goes to show the whole meeting that Jocelyn is having with Jessica Dime goes to show that Jocelyn still being shady as fuck, and she has an ulterior motive, and her ulterior motive is to have these people be a part of her music video, not that she really want to mend her differences with them. That's not her motive. Her motive is to just have them be a part of her music video, because if you notice, when she walked into the bar and she noticed Jessica Dime there because she wants Jessica Dime to be a part of her music video, she rolled her eyes at the girl. She rolled her eyes at the girl. Just, it was too damn much. So that's what we're going to see on the next episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Also on the next episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we're going to see Lovely Mimi pretty much is going to tell Sierra, you know, during an argument that Mariah is actually having sex with her husband. So during an argument, Lovely Mimi is going to spill the beans that Mariah is sleeping with Shock, whatever the hell his name is. We're also going to see on the next episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta that Young Jock is going to be meeting up with Cena, his baby mama, and he's pretty much going to be asking her if she is in fact fooling around with Rod, which my thing is this, Young Jock. Why do you give a fuck? Okay, why do you give a fuck if Cena is fooling around with Rod? You're fooling around with Cardi Red. There's a possibility that you fooled around with Jasmine. Hell, you sitting there going on dates with Tommy and things, but you worried about who Cena's fooling around with, and that's what's wrong with these dudes. And I know it's a show, but at the end of the day, Young Jock might be, he probably act like that for real when it comes to his baby mamas. He wants them to be loyal to him, but he can be out here in these streets doing whatever the fuck it is that he wants to do. Because if you guys peeped, coming up on the next episode, he tells her, I better not find out you had him around my babies, okay? Why do dudes feel like that they can do what they want to do, but you being the woman, you can't do what you want to do? I mean, that's some double standard type of bullshit that I don't like. So he pretty much tells Cena, I don't give a damn what you do, but at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you're not having this dude around my children. Boy, bye. Okay, boy, bye. Now, also on the next episode, Stevie J is going to be taking the paternity test. We already know the results of this paternity test. We know that it is 99.99%. You are the father, in the words of Maury Povich. Okay, you are the father, in the words of Maury Povich. And also, he's going to be having a kind of a get-together, kind of a heart-to-heart with his son. Stevie J has a very, very handsome son, if I do say so myself. Now, I hate the fact that a lot of guys, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I don't even know if a lot of you guys actually saw the preview for the next episode. But the fact that Stevie J told his son that I was there for you. I was there for you financially. I can't stand when people do and say shit like that. People feel like just because they are there for a person financially, that is not you being there for me. And that's exactly what his son told him. I needed you to be there for me in more ways than just financially. He was like, it was shit that I needed you to help me do. It was shit that I needed you to teach me as a man that my mother could not teach me. And you weren't there. And you felt like just because you was throwing my mama some money, that justified you not being in my life. And I cannot stand when men feel like they can do that. I cannot stand that shit, because you have a lot of men that feel like just because I give my child's mother money, they feel like that's being a parent, which it is not. More oftentimes than not, You have women that would much rather you be in that child's life. Now, I'm not talking about the women that's like, well, if you ain't giving me nothing, then you can't see the baby. And I understand that they feel like if you ain't contributing financially, then I understand the frustration of them, wanting to shun you. I understand that. But at the same time, we have to remember that children need their fathers in their life, especially young boys. They need their fathers in their life because there's a lot of things that you as a mother can't teach your son. Okay. I'm just saying. But at the same time, I hate when a man feels like just because he gives a woman money, that equates being a parent, because it's not. You throwing out a little bit of money here and there does not equate you being a parent in no shape, form, nor fashion. So I did not appreciate, Stevie J telling his son that. I mean, that was some fucked up shit. Him telling his son, well, I gave your mama money, so I was there for you. No, you weren't. You were not there for me because it was stuff that I needed to know. And it was stuff that I wanted to learn that only you could teach me. And that's the fucked up part. That's the show no fucked up part. Yolanda said Tommy is an angry girl. She is trying to be a bully, but nobody cares about her to be bullied. He wasn't throwing money with all the child support debt. Exactly, Fat Dean. You made a great point right then. He wasn't throwing money. If you had $1 million behind in child support, boo. So what type of financial way were you there if you that far behind in child support? But according to Stevie J, to be fair, according to him, he claims that he was, I don't know if he was giving these women money outside of the court system. I don't know, but that's what he claims that he was doing. Lindley said child support is the bare minimum of parenting. I have always said that, yes, it is, because men can't emphasize they can do whatever, but be damned if a woman does. Okay. Refresh, Miss Anonymous. Refresh. Y'all, I got to be a little ghetto right now. I'm going to have to call my mama right quick to give her this phone number because, girl, she going to get mad at me if I don't. Refresh your screen if the video is frozen for you. I am so sorry if it is. Refresh. My mama's about to come up here and visit me, y'all, so that's why she's asking me for Church's Chicken number. Hey, you got it. Did you get my text? Okay. Okay, what time are you leaving? Okay. Okay, that's time you leave. Okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry, y'all. I had to call her back. I sent her a text. I sent her a text with the phone number to Church Chicken. She got it, girl. Because half of the time, I'm be getting these text messages. I be texting her all the time. I be like, dang, you ain't see my text message? Girl, she don't check no text messages. So now we can continue with our topic of the conversation. That's pretty much what happened with last night's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. That's what happened. So what did you guys think about last night's episode? Like I said, I'm getting so tired. I don't know about anybody else, but I am getting so tired with these fake ass storylines. It is so annoying. I don't know. Mona needs to do better. She needs to do better. She needs to get some people with some better acting skills because, girl, we all know, ain't no damn way in hell that Mariah is actually sleeping with Ciara's husband, and it's too much. But somebody in the last live stream actually said that. Somebody said, watch, it turns out that Mariah is going to tell Ciara that she's actually sleeping with her husband. Somebody called that in the last live stream. Yes, you did. And I'm sick of this foolishness, okay, and the fuckery, okay? So we know it's foolishness and fuckery. We know that Mariah is not fooling around with Shotta, whatever the hell his name is. But if she is, you need your ass whooped. And I'm campaigning for Ciara to whoop your ass, okay, if you are fooling around with her husband in real life. But like I said, at the end of the day, for him to be like, can you keep my secret? Okay, I'm going to give you this money so you can keep my secret. Are we forgetting that we are on reality television? Are we forgetting that we are on reality television and that this shit is being recorded? So what secret are you wanting her to keep? Boy, stop. Boy, stop. Yes, these storylines are too much. M-Town Boy said, the scriptedness, a turn off for the show. I haven't even been watching, but enjoy the review. So thank you, M-Town Boy. It's definitely getting very, very predictable. Very, 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 very predictable. And it's annoying. I will honestly and truly say that it's very annoying. If they have fake storylines, they need to keep it up in real life. Exactly. Keep the shit up in real life if you're gonna have these fake ass storylines. And I guess Mimi's funds are definitely very, very low right now. Mimi's funds has got to be very, very low because, girl, she hasn't been on the last, what, 2 or 3 episodes of Love Ever Atlanta? Well, was she on the last episode? Yeah, she was on the last episode because for like 10 minutes. Well, no, it wasn't 10 minutes, girl. It was 5 minutes when Rod was apparently, allegedly confronting her about telling everybody that he's a scammer. So Mimi's funds are definitely getting cut because, girl, she ain't got no storyline. Her storyline is the fact that Rod is her ex-boyfriend because she's not dating Melissa. So what's your storyline, girl? You have none. Why are these girls playing themselves on TV? They looking crazy out here, proud side chicks. Mona needs more quality. Okay. It seemed like damn half of these chicks on this show this season are side chicks fooling around with somebody's husband. Girl, you need your ass kicked. But anyway, family, that's all that I have for this episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 6, episode 5, War and Peace. I hope that you guys enjoyed this recap of this foolishness and this fuckery. Give this video a thumbs up if you have not already. If you are just so happen to be new in this live stream, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you ring that bell because apparently it's a lot of things that are going on with YouTube right now, girl. Whole lot of things that's going on with YouTube. People are freaking the freak out. And, I guess rightfully so for some people. But it is what it is. I hope that you guys enjoyed this recap. I will definitely be hollering at you guys. If I don't, because my mama is coming to visit me later on. And y'all know I don't cuss around my mama at all. But y'all know when I get on these live streams, I definitely have to keep it trivial, holy feeling. I have to talk to y'all like y'all my good girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? And I probably ain't gonna be able to come on here later because my mama will be up here. But if I don't come back today, I will definitely be back tomorrow with a live show. And we're going to talk about some things that have been going on in the news and a lot of things that have been going on YouTube. You enjoy your day too, Charmaine. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that are joining me in the middle of the day, y'all are the real MVPs. And for those of you that are going to be watching this on the playback way back, y'all are the real MVPs as well. I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, family.